Dzień dobry Państwu. Wspaniała okazja, pierwsza tak naprawdę w historii, żeby zrobić takie polskie mini studio, ale w Londynie podczas turnieju Masters. No i mam dzisiaj ze sobą wspaniałego gościa, sześciokrotnego wicemistrza świata, prawdziwą legendę snookera, Jimmy'ego White'a. Hello Jimmy.
Hi Michael,
It's
how you
very
doing?
nice to have you here. First of all, for starters, you've been to Poland, it's for Polish viewers, and they want me to say to you that they love you absolutely and they watch you all the time. You've been to Poland, how did you like it? It's a tricky question.
Thanks for that. I do appreciate my Polish fans. I've been to Poland many times for tournaments and for exhibitions. We haven't been there for a few years. I'd like to go back. So I think there is talk of a tournament there in the next few years.
There is.
I don't know when and I don't know who the sponsor is, but there's talk of a tournament there. So hopefully we'll be going back there.
Okay, that would be really lovely because there's a pretty big fan base over there in Poland.
Cool.
You've always been people's champion, and I wanted to ask you if you could change the past, would you trade being people's champion and probably be hated like Stephen Hendry at some point at his career, but win the world title?
I'm not finished yet. I'm still playing. So you have
Fair
to
point.
ask me that
Right.
question
Yeah.
when I retire. So I still
Yeah.
think I can win the World Championships. Otherwise I wouldn't play.
Yeah, so that's your main drive to
My main
win the world
drive, of
championships.
course. You know, I'm working on a new Q action. I'm really enjoying my snooker at the moment. I won the World Seniors this year. I know it's only the seniors, but for me it was a good confidence booster. And I'm hitting the ball as good as ever.
Yeah, it's not an easy tournament, World Seniors, right? Many good players over there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how did it feel to lift a trophy in the Crucible Theatre? It must have been amazing, right?
That was absolutely amazing. You know, to win a tournament there, I've won many matches there, but I've also lost 6 finals there. So it's been like a bit of a good and bad place for me. But to win a trophy there, it was a fantastic feeling.
Yeah. Do you still recall some shots from probably '94 World Championships final? Do you still have some bad dreams about it, or it's just you got over it?
No, not really. You know, there is a few shots that I missed in my career that has cost me tournaments and World Championships, but that's part of the buzz. You know, like everything's not plain sailing. You know, you have to take the bad hits with the good hits, and I'm still here, still playing.
Yeah. You said sometime, I think it was a year ago or something, that you were extremely popular when there were like 4 channels in the UK's television, back in the 80s probably and 90s, probably more 80s. Do you still feel recognized, or maybe more than ever, because of the punditry work that you do for Eurosport?
No, it's mainly snooker fans now.
So you don't get recognized walking down the streets of London?
Not so much. Before, when there was 4 channels, everybody knew you in the UK, which was nice. But when you know, as you get older, you realise it's just a thing for TV.
Yeah, all right. You do the punditry work for Eurosport, and you seem to be having a lot of fun doing that. Any spicy, funny stories behind the scenes? Imagine it's off the record.
Well, we sometimes, me, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Neil Foulds. I've grown up with Neil Foulds. I've known him all my life, and I've known Ronnie O'Sullivan since he was a young lad. So sometimes we get into fits of laughter, and we just about get it together for the TV. But what I like about Eurosport is that it's young, it's funky, it's about today's stuff that's happening in snooker, and we're not afraid to ask the questions that other snooker channels don't ask with the players, and we get the players to open up. So I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah. Speaking of Ronnie O'Sullivan, do you recall meeting him for the first time, or him meeting you for the first time?
Yeah, he come to my house with Steve Davis's driver, a guy called Robbo. He brought him to my house when he was about 15, and had a snooker table in my house, so I remember him then. But I also, the first time I really met him in a match was when I played him and he beat me 5-1 in a tournament, and he was superb.
Yeah. Do you feel you have more pure natural talent than Ronnie O'Sullivan?
No, I don't think anyone does. I think Ronnie O'Sullivan is the only player in the world that I've ever seen that looks comfortable on every type of shot.
Yeah, and it's a complete player, isn't he? Yeah.
He's a complete winning machine now. He took a bit from me, a bit from Steve Davis, a lot from Stephen Hendry, learnt to play safe with Ray Reardon, and with his natural ability and his fantastic skills, you know, he's just fantastic to watch and fantastic to work with. He's a fantastic lad.
Yeah. Ronnie this year declined the possibility to play in the Masters, to actually take part in it. Do you feel the pain sitting over there in the studio watching lads playing and not be competing this year? Did you say to Ronnie O'Sullivan, oh, you should be playing?
He had his reasons for not playing. You know, I can't answer that question. You'll have to ask him that, you know. But he seems fine. He's still come to work for Eurosport.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's his decision and he's stuck by it.
Okay. Any favourites for this year's Masters? It's been an unpredictable tournament.
Stuart Bingham looks very good to me. He's hitting the ball nicely, but Dave Gilbert looked great. Maguire looked great. Murphy looks great. But I think Stuart Bingham's got a chance this year.
It wouldn't be a surprise for Stuart winning a tournament like the Masters. I think it's...
well, he won the World Championship.
He won the World
so
Championship.
That was a surprise, so why can't he win
in
this?
In a sublime style, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Jimmy, we've got some questions for the Polish viewers.
Okay.
From the Polish viewers, from the Facebook, and I'm going to start with one that you probably asked pretty a lot lately. How snooker as a whole is different comparing to when you started playing?
There's not so many clubs, but there's a lot more. There's a lot more snooker on TV. There's a lot more snooker in China, and in my day there was probably 500 good players. Now you probably have 100,000 good players.
Yeah.
You know, it's improved
over
that
the
much.
world, right?
All over the world, yeah.
But do you feel, as an expert looking at what's happening here in England, that snooker here is in a decline, junior-wise, and looking at the players, that there are not so many clubs here in England, so that the buzz and the big snooker thing of the 80s is gone forever?
Yeah, I think so. I think when it's the smoking ban and the fruit machine ban that they go into, they're in like betting shops now. But I think you'll find that snooker tables will be coming back soon because there's a lot of pool halls opened and they're doing well. So it's just going back to getting... I think snooker's still popular enough to have clubs, but I think it's just quieting down for a minute. But I think it's coming back.
Yeah. There's a thing in Poland now, we are trying to put some snooker tables in schools.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good idea?
Great idea. They've done that in China 10 years ago. Look what it's done for China, you know. So definitely a brilliant idea.
It's done wonders, right?
Yeah.
Another question from our viewer. If you could choose one country to organize another big event, which one would it be?
I think it would be Brazil. I went there and played a tournament in Brazil, and the crowds were brilliant. I think we should go back there.
They know snooker, right?
They know snooker very well.
Okay. There's a question, but you already answered that. Are you still taking snooker as seriously as before?
More than ever.
More than ever. You said one time, I believe it was for the Eurosport interview as well, that if you hadn't taken World Championships so seriously, you would have won them like 10 times. You still think that's the case? There was too much pressure on you?
No, I think these it's a sort of a question I'd have to answer when I retire. You know, I think that if I'd have prepared properly, I'd have won more for sure.
Yeah. What would you actually change in your preparation to the tournament? If you're saying you're taking it more seriously, do you prepare any?
Well, I practice.
Any different?
I practice harder now, you know, and if I've got a match, you know, I prepare properly. I go to bed early, you know, all things normal things. I was just a bit of a party boy when I was younger, but you know, I can't
so you're
turn.
not naughty anymore, right?
No, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
In Eurosport studio.
In Eurosport studio, yeah.
Okay. All right. I think we should move on to one of the best things we could ever do is shot recreation.
You want me to recreate that pink
and I want you to talk our viewers through what you are actually doing here. It's a shot from the match against Kirk Stevens, right?
Kirk just had a 147 and I'd finished off with a few flare shots. I screw the pink in to the green pocket. The white hits here. It's got check side on it. So when it hits this cushion, it looks like it's going to go directly, but it goes up for the black.
So the check side here is the extreme
Which is the
amount of
right-hand
left-hand side, right?
Right-hand side.
Right-hand side, all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. I always wanted to see that in person, so... Yeah, there you go. Can we have one more try? You think it's possible on that specific, very
Yeah,
different cloth.
I think so. Aggie just got in the way here, you know, the Polish girl from Eurosport.
She's lovely.
But we love
you,
her,
Aggie.
so we'll let her off.
All right, another try.
No,
Okay, you want to try it one more
I'm
time?
not getting the screw on.
No.
We'll have another go.
Do you always feel comfortable always pointing at the
Yeah,
lower,
I've always done
part
it.
of the keyboard?
It's a bad habit, but I've always done it. There you go.
There you
And
go.
then when it hits the ball, it checks for the black.
It looks lovely. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Dziękuję Państwu bardzo. Nazywam się Michał Ebert. Gościem naszego studia był Jimmy White i mam nadzieję, że odpowiedział na parę nurtujących Was pytań. Jeszcze w tym tygodniu podczas Mastersa pewnie się tutaj ze wspaniałymi gośćmi pojawimy. Dzięki i do zobaczenia.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks a lot.